Nobody's there yet, though, right?
No, but that's okay. Hello, hello, hello. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure that my audio is good. Yeah, there we go. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we are here. We are here. We are here. My wife's back there. Are you here?
I'm here.
You're here. Well, hello there. I don't know if you guys can see me. We're not on exactly the same feed as we were for the live broadcast, but we are on my page. We're on my page on Facebook right now, live, and we're also on the 2 Degrees page on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube on the 2 Degrees YouTube, Facebook. And I can't tell because I'm on StreamYard. So right now it's only me right here. I'm expecting a couple of other people to drop in somewhere along the way. So listen, the chat is open. If you want to have some commentary or have any questions, or if you want to come in the studio, you can come in and talk to us. That's what I'll do. I'll send you the link if you want to come in. I am expecting some more cast members. My wife's back there. You here?
Yeah.
She's here. She's here. So anyway, hey everybody, thanks for watching 2 Degrees. I need to tell you something though. First of all, if you like the show, go to the Brick, www.thebricktv.com. Okay, subscribe. And the rest of the season, episodes 2 through 6, including season 1 if you missed it when we aired it last year or 2 years ago, you can watch it right now. So that's what tonight was all about. We want to bring more attention to the show that so many people work so hard. Oh, wait a minute, comments. I got comments on here. Oh, hey, comments. Hey. Oh, there you are. Now I can see. I didn't have my comments on. Yeah, that's the woman I picked up. I was out tonight, Elliot, and said, who's that fine chickadee right there? I'm going to put her in my car and bring her home. And she actually came home with me. Yeah, how about that? I tricked her. What's up, Elliot? Elliot, you want to come in? Did you get the link? You want to come in? Are you presentable? You can come on in and talk to me. You should come in, Elliot. You should come in because I gave you the link. I sent you the link, Elliot. So come on in. Come on in, Elliot. Don't be chicken. So anyway, this show has gone. Well, it goes back to 2000 and if you talk about when we first started planning the show, 2009. Cassandra, your friends always come in and tell you things to make you feel good. Thank you, Cassandra. Best show ever. Appreciate you so much. You want to come in and talk to us live, Cassandra? You were in season 1. No? Anyway, well, I guess not. Let me see. I'm gonna put my link in. I'm gonna put the link inside the chat. Okay. And if you want to come in, I'll bring you in because I got like 8 slots. Elliot ain't gonna come in. Elliot's gonna be a chicken. Okay, there it is. I'm putting the link in the chat right there. There's the link. Okay. So there's the link. So if you want to come in, we have slots. There's only a few slots I can let in to talk to us at a time. But if you want to come in, come on in. I'll let you in. Oh, Cassandra, you're at work. Oh, you're always working. When are you not working, Cassandra? So any questions about the show? Come on now. Ask me something. Ask me something. No? You got any questions, honey?
No, I don't have any questions.
All right. Elliot, what's your issue, man? Why ain't you coming in? 2 of me. Hey, it's Shalista. 2 of your favorite people. Which one is your most favorite, Shalista? Don't lie. Go ahead and tell me. It's Latanya, isn't it? That's all right. All right. That's cool. I can take that. But who's your favorite? Shalista, who is your favorite? You could tell me. Okay. She's not going to know. You can tell me. Okay. Tell me something. Anybody, look, you know what? If y'all ain't going to come on here and talk to me, then I'm going to leave. I'm not going to leave, actually. I'm going to. So, Elliot Woods. I got Elliot. Okay, come on, Elliot. Come on in. There he is.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, Elliot Woods in the house.
Latanya, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, Elliot, good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Likewise, you guys good?
Oh man, we great, man. We out here in these Atlanta streets, you know what I'm saying? In these Atlanta streets. Yeah. So what's it like to see you being the butthole on the show again, huh? Feel good?
It seems to be my natural habitat or something.
Hey, Letitia, we will meet really soon. Nice to see this fun work has legs. Yeah, Amina, we hope that it does. We just, I wanted season 3, and quite frankly, with all due respect to our distributors, the Brick, we can't get to a season 3 while it sits there and oh, there's Tiffany. Let's bring Tiffany in. Hey, Tiffany.
Great, Tiffany.
Movies?
But it hasn't started yet, so is somebody saying anything? And I left my AirPods at home, so now I'm just gonna be like this.
So what are you going to see?
Barbie.
Oh Lord. I know it did $150 trillion over the weekend.
Well, I'm not paying for it. My friend got 2 free passes, and I'm like, let me go see what all the fuss is about. Let me see what the fuss is about.
I've been getting mixed reviews. Well, I shouldn't say mixed. The reviews that I've seen have not been good. But then, in all fairness, they're old like me. So, maybe it's an age thing. Elliot, have you seen Barbie? Elliot, can you hear me?
No, I have not. Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
You haven't seen Barbie yet?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, maybe AJ's seen Barbie. AJ, have you seen Barbie?
Hi.
Hey, AJ, have you seen Barbie?
AJ. I have not.
Somebody has free passes. So I'm going with the free ticket. I'm like, let me see what all this fuss is about.
Well,
we haven't seen it, but my daughter loved it.
I will take my daughter. I will take my daughter when she comes, but she's not here right now.
That's weird.
Wow, Tony Winter's in the house. It's a party.
That would be me. Hey, everybody.
It's a reunion. Hey. What's up?
Hey,
What's
Tiff,
up,
what are you going to see?
Barbie.
I saw it last night.
How was it? Well, I'm going to find out, right?
I'll let you find out, and I'm anxious to hear your thoughts.
Hey, this is like a reunion.
If I need to mute my mic, let me know.
No, you good. You good.
Okay.
So I just wanted to thank all you guys before we get off talking about Barbie too much. I want to thank you guys publicly for such a great job on this episode. It is my favorite episode until I see one of the other ones. But I love, this show is the template in terms of how I want the show to look. The editor, Mo Owens, did a fantastic job cutting this thing together with all the different graphics in the opening and the music and all that stuff. And it's exactly how I kind of want the show to look. So in that respect, it's definitely, but all the episodes are kind of close to me for some reason, I guess. But this one, it's just great. And all you guys, the reactions and stuff, it's just fantastic. So thank you for bringing your A game to my C game to make mine look like it's an A game. Appreciate that.
You do have the A game.
So how y'all doing? We miss y'all in LA. What'd you say, AJ?
I said, you're welcome.
I appreciate you.
Somebody had to say it. Do it, AJ.
You're welcome, darling. It was a mere sacrifice of all of my busy schedule of that year.
Man,
I was honored to do it. You know what? Just like I told you guys before, and I'll say it from henceforth and forevermore, like it literally was my dream come true to work with all of you guys, because I had looked up to you guys for so long. And I finally got in the club. That's how I felt. Wow. No, it's true. It's true. I will watch you guys like when I was working at Kizzy's, and I'm like, God, one day.
That's hilarious.
And then you leapfrog past all of us.
No, I did not. I don't know why you guys keep saying that.
That different
I was
world
the lowest paid.
Yeah.
Like I was like a scrub that just barely got above the fence. At least that's how they made me feel. At least that's how I felt.
Well, we didn't see it that way. We
No,
didn't see
not
it
at
that
all.
way at
We're
all.
always cheering for you. Always.
Always.
I know that.
Always.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah,
I was just
big
looking through
fans.
I was looking the other day. I was looking at these old different world opening credit sequences, and there you were in your splendor, AJ.
Let me tell you something. That was the biggest flex of all for me. Like getting that part. I didn't have to have no more lines after that. I was like, I'm on the opening credits. That's all that matters.
Well,
Y'all
I'm
know
gonna
Yeah,
like back
man.
when top billing was a big deal. You know what I mean? Like opening credit,
Right.
closing, like compared to closing credit, like who you got billed over and what your co-star
How big the
versus
letters
reoccurring.
are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So all that
of
stuff
that.
really, really, it mattered.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Tiffany, you were terrific in this episode. I got to tell you, you went for it, and I thought you nailed all of those moments just
I
so
agree.
very well. Yeah,
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I
Tony.
agree.
Coming from
Yeah.
you, high praise. It's high praise. Thank you.
that's what I do.
You guys are all.
I look down upon you, minions, and I bestow upon you my praises.
You guys, I just got a text saying that it's starting. So
Okay.
I'll run
Good to
in,
see you.
I don't want to
Bye-bye.
waste a free ticket. I
Well,
love you all. You guys
love
are
you
amazing.
too, Tiffany
And it was an
Phillips.
absolute pleasure being in this episode. Carl, thank you for having me and working with all of you. It was such a gift. Thank you.
It sure was. Same to
Enjoy
you,
the
Tiffany.
movie.
Enjoy
Bye,
Barbie,
guys.
and let's hear about
Thank
it
you.
later.
I'm going to get my Barbie girl on. Okay. Bye, guys.
See you later.
Had to give you a little
There
nip.
she goes. All right, so I got a question here. TUL has asked, I don't know, I guess it's a question for me. What's your schedule for each episode? I'm assuming you don't have a week to write, rewrite, rehearse, and shoot. Yeah, no, we don't. The first season, the model was one episode per day. So the first season, we shot 6 episodes in 6 days.
Yep.
That was crazy.
Yes.
The second season was more, I won't say flexible, but it just depended on the episode. The episode you saw, we shot probably in 1, 2. Oh, that's about 2 days. No, about 2 or 3 days. It was 2 or 3 days. We shot that one. We shot in the apartment, and then the driving stuff, and then the stuff in the party. And the party was the bulk. That was a big day. So I think that one was 2 or 3 days for the one you just saw.
Yeah.
And then I wrote it, so it didn't take much at all. It was just, I'm just throwing some stuff down, and then these guys came in and rescued me. It was 2 cameras to you all in the second season, 2 cameras.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, anybody have any thoughts? I mean, AJ. So I can say this out loud now because Tony's in LA and he can't beat me up.
Uh-oh.
So basically,
Careful.
pairing you, and I think I may have told you this before, with Tony was purposeful.
Oh.
I did it on purpose because I knew Tony kind of thought you were kind of a hottie, but everybody does. But I thought his
Man, come on, man! Don't put me on blast like that.
but it was.
It's
for
true,
him.
but don't put me on blast.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna talk about the show, man. We're gonna talk about how we
absolutely.
So pairing you guys together because Tony's my boy. I love him deeply. I said, you know what? I got to give Tony a treat. And that was one thing. And the second thing was I knew that he would play it for real because of the real intense, thing he had for you. And it worked. It worked.
But you know what?
Man.
I
gotta go.
No, listen.
I'm just kidding.
I would like to apologize because not apologize, but apologize to the audience because I didn't like the fact that I was a mean girlfriend though.
Oh, you have nothing to complain about. Nothing.
Oh yeah, because you were the mean friend.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you were the mean. Like you were kind of like whatever. But I mean, I don't know. just felt like, wow, why I gotta be such a, you know.
Can I respond to that a little bit? Because I get what you're saying. Now,
But because I mean, like to work with Tony Winters, like the great Tony Winters, like it was just I wanted. So it was fine. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I did, and it was an honor. But I was like, oh man, I gotta be mean though. Ah.
This show has a lot of villains. It has you. Well, you weren't really a villain, but certainly Shelley and Elliot. But let me just say this, and this comes out, and I can say the same thing about Shelley. So even though it was written the way it was written, and I love you in episode 4, by the way, AJ, just perfect performance, pitch perfect. But you still made her someone who cared about him. It's like you were giving him a chance. And some of your moments in this episode, just your looks and you could see you thinking, how you seemed like you really cared about Tony. It played to me, don't you think? What do you guys think about that?
I do.
Yeah. And so that's the personal touch that you added to the episode in spite of what was on the page. And it wasn't this two-dimensional, this bad girlfriend thing, because you were giving him a chance. And I just loved that. I loved it. And
Hey,
Adima Corinne's here.
Hi, Adima Cole.
Hi, Tony. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing great. How about you?
I'm great. Good to see you.
I was watching you kung fu fight this morning on Instagram or something. I don't know what was going on. I guess you were training or something.
I was doing weapons training.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
And I sent that to my daughter Corinne. I said, look at your character doing all this kung fu stuff. I sent it to her today.
But Carl, talking about the various characters, Elliot is anybody who knows Elliot Woods knows he's the nicest guy on the planet and wouldn't harm a soul. And he plays being your nemesis, your evil nemesis, so well that I was super impressed with Elliot's work after that. I was like, Elliot got mad chops, man, because
Elliot's the man.
He played so against type and so against his natural genuflection, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just came away with a whole new respect for my boy. He was already my boy, and I already respected him beforehand, but just a whole new level of his craft and his work.
Yeah,
an absolute blast to have that kind of freedom to just go for it.
Your comic chops, man, your timing and your nuance in the way you played this character. I remember when we talked about this season, and
that's because he's naturally funny, though.
Yeah.
Like that's his natural cadence. I'm like,
right.
I stay cracking up around Elliot. Like, man, I didn't realize you was that funny. Otherwise, I would have hired you as my comedy writer years ago. I had no idea.
Thank you.
Yes,
it's
sir.
just the nuances too, and then I had to tell the audience too when we were doing this episode, and Ellie's asking me, "Well, why would I invite you to this party? Well, why am I coming around and doing this?" Right. I said, "Elliot, you'll figure it out. I need you to do this so to make the story stupid." And
well, that worked though. Like that y'all made it make perfect sense because it's like. Because it was so close to the vest in terms of the relationships, and the history with both friends that it just made sense for it to be awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And we got awkward, and we definitely did that.
Yeah. But then what we also did, that's what we had Corinne's character call him Uncle Elliot. So it suggested there was history between us and that he'd been around for a long time. So that was a part of it too. And then in real life, although the real Corinne, I don't think remembers Elliot, but there was many times Corinne was in the backseat of our car as Elliot and I traveled to San Diego to do auditions, and my kids would be in the back seat. And so that's why Elliot knows who Corinne is, but Corinne was a little girl then, so and didn't see him all the time. So there was a connection there that Adima was able to play that made it like comfortable, like that. Yeah, but he's marrying my old ex stepmother.
So
And
awkward.
and that's the other thing. Ajima played it so well. That part,
Yeah.
those parts, then those embarrassing parts at the table, and the look on your face, like you were scared for me. You know, like you were like, what's going on here?
This is all bad, man.
It was a great time. It was a great time working with all of you guys. The energy is amazing, and the comedic timing is fabulous, man.
Yeah.
Can't
And
help
I thought-
but facial
I
expressions.
thought Ajima and Patrick had a very nice chemistry
They
too.
did.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was great to work with.
Yeah.
And that was my first time meeting him too.
I know when
Really?
you guys played it.
I'm aware.
He's like,
So-
I dabble. I
So
dabble.
listen, we got some comments in the chat.
Okay.
Ernest Lee Thomas, the legendary Ernest Lee Thomas, says, "AJ,
Hi,
you,
Ernest.
you rock, baby. I like you being mean." Is what he's saying.
Ooh.
And Ernest Lee Thomas also says, "Your daughter is beautiful. You know, she's kind of a doppelganger. Is that a word? That's it.
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger. That's what I said. Damn it. Anyway, but yeah, you guys resemble actually a little bit. And
I still want to meet her. I still haven't
Yeah.
met her, so I'm
You
like,
haven't met her yet?
yeah,
Oh,
no.
wow. Okay.
But everyone says the same thing, and they do say that everyone has a doppelganger out there. So maybe we're each other's.
Perfect casting.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
So So any other thoughts? Anybody want to ask any questions in the chat that I can see? You know, right now, you guys, we are live on Facebook, on the 2 Degrees page, and on my personal page, and on YouTube, the 2 Degrees page.
Oh, wow,
So
that's
I'm
a lot of
multi-
that's a lot
I'm glad I
eyes.
showered.
Triple threat.
Man, I'm glad I put on some, some perfume and stuff.
Something.
So we're all in Atlanta. You guys want to come over and do an overnight or something like that? Have some chitlins, hog moms.
Not chitlins, not hog.
Not today.
Thank you,
I
Ernest.
can't see my face.
Not ever.
Yeah, thank you.
Your logo is
Thank you.
covering my face.
I know. Move over a little bit to your right.
Her
To
left, her left.
Left.
Other way,
Oh,
yeah.
right there.
you go.
There you
Okay.
go.
So let me get over here.
It's a great logo, though.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to take it. I don't know how to take it out. I tried to take it out. Go on.
Oh, it's okay.
Thank
all
you,
good.
Ernest Lee Thomas. The great Ernest Lee Thomas, who's worked with Sidney Poitier, likes the show.
Oh, that's
Man,
cool.
Ernest is the man. I love Ernest.
The man. He is the nicest, most supportive person
He
ever.
is. He's so precious.
Yes,
And
he
for
is.
somebody who is so, like you talk about somebody who's a legend in the game,
No doubt.
I mean,
Ernest,
wow.
Ernest, you want to come in? Ernest, if you want to come in, there goes the link. Come on in real fast.
Yeah, come and say hi.
Ernest, come on in, man. I
I'll
sent you
just
the link.
I'll say this real quick. I don't know Ernest well. We've only met a couple of times. But one time I got cast in a staged reading that he was doing. We were doing together for Ted Lange,
Mhm.
and Ernest brought the freaking house. That's not the word I want to use, but he brought down the freaking house. He was dead on all night long, and I just said, "This brother got mad comic chops."
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
He's so good. So good. But what would I like? So that was my only little thing where I was like, oh man, I hate that I gotta be mean. And I have to tell you, like I'm nice to like Elliot, like normally.
Yes, indeed.
And it was really a stretch. No, but I had
But you
so much
dug
fun.
deep. You dug deep. And
Yeah, I had
found
to
it.
dig really deep. I had to really do some research. But it was fun. I mean, it was again, just I kind of just bullied my way into the project though, because I kept sending Carl text messages like, hey, so are we friends or what? I mean, you gonna like,
Right.
like I ain't really doing. I'm like, I'm home, so you gonna holler at me like what? So he's like, okay, I promise, I got something for you. And I was like, oh yeah, the typical Hollywood phrase.
Exactly. Oh yeah, we
Don't worry,
love
girl, I got something for you.
you to be in it.
Or we're gonna
So
work
I-
together real soon.
We love you to be in it.
It was
No
nice.
problem.
That was
Right.
low hanging fruit. I've been an AJ Sanders fan for a very, very long time. That was low hanging fruit, and I knew I was gonna have Tony back trying to come in. Where's the link? He's Ernest says, "Where's the link? I'm on senior citizen." I just sent it in. I just sent it in the chat, Ernest. Let me see it again. Maybe I should see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can send it to your email, Ernest. Okay, I'm gonna do it right now. Oh, wrong thing.
So while we're waiting on Ernest, I just want to tell Tony, I really thank you for standing on the front lines for us, because I'm all the way out here in OC, so I can't like roll up every day to come and like walk the lines with you, but I respect the fact that you out there, doing your thug thizzle and representing.
Yeah, man.
The way you are. I appreciate y'all.
Well, thank you so much. This is what we do. At a certain point,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say, at a certain point in life, we reach that point of no return, and this is what I do. So I try to keep doing it well. But I appreciate that, my sister. I really do.
Well, so I saw this. I was going to ask you, did you guys see that video? Some clip, I think it was either TikTok or something, where the guy, I think he was a podcaster, and he was listing all of the financial figures.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
Where he was like what it would cost.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I was just like, wow, really?
Just
so
greed,
that pissed me off even more. So what do y'all think is going to happen?
It's going to get settled eventually.
I think they're going to take us right to the brink.
Supposedly it's going to go to the end of the year.
They're going to take it right to the brink.
You think the end of the year?
That's what
I think it could be September.
Why do you think September?
I just got a feeling.
I don't think that the shareholders are going to tolerate, eventually, like Netflix has already taken a hit in their stock price. So at some point they have to, since that's who their focus is on, they're going to have to say, we got to get back to making money for the shareholders. And the only way to do that is to get the machine going again.
And they will buckle because, this is an existential fight. It's not just about us, the UPS workers, the hotel workers, airline workers. These corporate fat cats have to share the wealth with the working class. They have to. Otherwise, this whole thing is going to go up in smoke, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that they're going to push us as far as they can push us. So everybody, if you need to get a second job or whatever it is that you do to keep extra money coming in, do it, because they're going to try and push us to the brink. But they will blink before we do, because this is what we do.
You mean a third job, fourth job?
Third, fourth, whatever it is, however you get down. But I think they're going to try and force us, and eventually Iger or somebody's going to call the AMPT and say, make a deal. They're going to try and make a deal with these guys. And eventually Iger or somebody's going to call the AMPT and say, make a deal.
That's enough.
Make a deal with these guys.
Hey, Carl, looks like you got some questions in the chat.
Why am I echoing now?
Yeah,
I'm hearing myself back.
I wasn't echoing before. Why am I echoing now?
In the chat.
Why am I echoing? Oh, great.
Where did that come from?
I don't know where it came from. Can you hear now?
It might have been me. It might have been me. I went to look and to see what it looked like on Facebook. That's how I saw the.
Oh, Elliot!
I could have lied, but yeah, that was me. My bad.
Okay, so it's TUL asking questions. Will more people move toward indie film ventures before it's settled? Well, yeah, that's always possible.
And indie films are being greenlighted. And
they're not really they're big. They're not really anyway. That's a whole other story.
Because the producers are not part of the AMPTP.
Right.
So they're allowed to go forward.
I read about one movie though that's produced by Morgan Freeman and somebody else.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that one does have affiliation with Paramount Global. I don't know. So, do you guys know Maya Dunbar? She's Rockman Dunbar's wife.
We're friends on Facebook.
I don't know her.
Okay, so she's running for president of SAG.
Okay.
And she's coming to my class on Wednesday.
Very cool.
Yeah, so she's running, and she's got an interesting perspective on things. So we're gonna have a media hearty discussion about the state of the union and her idea for running the union and all that. I don't know how much of a chance she has because she's an outsider and all of that, but she's definitely going for it, and she's a very, very smart lady. I mean, Maya's one of the smartest people. For years, she's just a brilliant person. So we'll see. But she's running for president.
I have a superficial question.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that we're not going to have a SAG Awards this year?
I am sure we will have a SAG Awards, I bet you, this year.
It's just all going to get pushed back, just like the Emmys have already been pushed back to January.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's Golden Globe season.
Yeah, usually they're in November.
Yeah.
They got pushed back to January, so I think that's what's going to occur.
Can we get?
And the fall season is almost a wash.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Can we get the union to process our checks faster? Can we do that?
Right.
You ever look at that residuals tracker and you got one coming for $1,000, and you got one coming for 6 cents and one coming for 37 cents and $1, and all three of those will come first. They'll skip right over that $1,000 residual and send you those little bitty ones.
Yeah.
At least that's my experience.
I called SAG. I called SAG a few days ago, and they give you the whole spiel about how long it takes to process your check and how inundated with checks they are. Which, look, I understand that, but why? They need a different system. That's what I think. I have an idea. Why don't the production company send us the money and then send SAG an acknowledgement so they can put it into our earnings statement? How about that?
Ooh.
Well, no, because then they can't hold on to it long enough for them to get the interest.
Yeah.
Well, it's still our money. That's how I see it. If they're concerned about being able to track our earnings, then have the production company send them a statement, send them some sort of a voucher. We paid Tony Winters $700,457.
Oh, your lips to God's ears, bro.
Right.
What'd you say?
I said that sounds about right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then send them a voucher so SAG, the union, knows that they sent you the money, and then send you the money.
Well, Carl, I think you need to get involved, man. That's a good idea. But we all sit on the sidelines. That's why I'm hitting the picket lines tomorrow again, because I always sit on the sidelines and let other people make these decisions for us. And that's the kind of, and you have the kind of brain that would work well there at the negotiating table, man. And there's no reason in the world why that shouldn't be something union, that's discussed.
That's a union, member issue, and I don't see why they can't do that. Why does our checks, especially now, I need my money yesterday. Don't be holding on to my money because you got a processing issue. Send me my money. I don't care about the processing. I know that's what you're going through, but I'm not interested in that. Change the system.
I got to step out real quick, you guys. I'm sorry.
We got to go to the bathroom.
No. I got to go and get my dog. He's hungry.
So I have a question for you, Carl. So with all that is going on, are we going to be shooting another season of Third Degrees?
Well, it's only 2 degrees.
2 degrees.
I meant to say a third season of 2 degrees.
Well, part of the reason why I talked to the Brick about allowing me to screen one episode is because I am looking for another suitor, and the Brick is now a partner. So I wanted to find a way to generate some enthusiasm about the show. I don't want to give up on it. And the only way we do a third season is if we get the proper financing and get the proper people behind it. The way we've done it before, we did, improve on the model in the second season. But for us to do a third season, it has to be, substantially higher so we can pay everybody and set it up right. And
I think, with all that's happening, you'll probably have the pick of the litter with a lot of stars are sitting at home now. So
they're ready to work.
Yeah.
Everybody want to work, so why not?
Well, we're working on it. We'll see what happens.
Reach out to some of those, guys that that have the capital too. You know, some of the entertainers, some of the celebrity friends, you know, everybody.
Yeah, but
Everybody.
they don't.
Everybody. So pick up the phone and be like,
yeah, well, I have
hey, huh?
Well, I do, but they don't always respond to these type of appeals.
Well,
No, they don't like to gamble. They don't like to invest their own money in these productions.
and they tend to respond better when they see you're on their level, if you know what I mean. It's only a few who, I'll give you an example. I'm gonna call names. One person who has been very supportive of me is Michael T. Williamson. Michael T. He's been very supportive. I mean, but that's still a lot of dough for him to put out. But he's been very free to offer his other resources for this show. So, but he's like one dude. You know, I do know a lot of people, but you know, and I've sent stuff to a lot of people. I've sent even for tonight's screening. I exhausted my text thread, sending it to everybody. And
this is a source of frustration for me because this is the opportunity I feel like for us to be able to invest in ourselves. You know, in addition to standing up against, you know, like what Tony just called them, the fat cats. I mean, but still, that's still an opportunity. I think I feel like we miss the opportunity most of the time to invest in ourselves, and this is one of them. You know what I mean? And you know, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, but since we do have a little bit of an audience to speak to, I feel like this is something for me that I've always talked about. You know, like pooling our money, pooling our resources. You know, and I feel like that this is why. And I'm coming from the sitcom era, the sitcom world from the 90s, comparing that to the 70s. Like I feel like those guys in the 70s were more cohesive and they were more supportive of each other in terms of just the way that they shared and collaborated. And like Red Fox, for instance, he always took, you know, all of those guys that he worked with on the show, he took them on the road and everybody got fed. And, you know, and then Whitman Mayo, you know, collaborated with Marla Gibbs, and that's how she got her spinoff. I mean, so they always like looked out for each other way more. And so in my era of television, where you know sitcoms were hot, you know, it wasn't like that. Everybody was sort of like every man for himself. You know, I got mine, you get yours, and I think you know that fractured mentality is what separates us from the Jewish community who always pulls together and produces things together, like Adam Sandler and his crew, and so on and so forth. You know, and I just feel like that is such a shame and such a travesty, especially in the current state of affairs that are going on, where we are still not willing to come together and put a couple of dollars in the hat and go, okay, man, here, you know, do your show. I only got, you know, I got a family to feed, so I only have $100,000, but here you go. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for that, you know, especially knowing how consistent you've been in the game. And, you know, you are a major player in the industry and everybody knows that you are Carl Gilliard, the actor, the consistent guy. You know what I'm saying? Like you're reliable and you follow through. So I don't know. I can get on my soapbox about that, but that just bothers me that we still have that same you know, disposition with one another. And, you know, there's no way we're going, and the audience will follow us wherever we are.
Right. Right.
No matter what we do, our following will follow us, period. But we just don't trust ourselves enough to just go for it and rely on ourselves because we are the creators of all things cool.
Yep. All things cool, even when we get older, right, Tony?
Everything.
This is true.
everything. Yeah. You know, like if generation to generation, as a culture, we are the ones that set the standard of all pop culture. You know what I mean? All cool, you know, language, you name it, fashion, music, all across the board. But we just don't see our own power in that, and that's unfortunate.
Well, you know, I sometimes, to your point, because I know a lot of people. I got a lot of people on my phone. I have people following me on Twitter. And I send, like tonight's broadcast, for example, as well as other materials about what I'm doing, I send to everybody. And, you know, there's a small percentage of people who even respond.
Yep.
But see, the way I see it, and I'm never gonna stop doing that. I don't care. I don't. You know, I should feel that I'm on people's nerves. I don't care. I just keep doing it. I'm like the engine that could. I just keep on sending them. I won't name names, but they're pretty big people. I just keep sending them
I
stuff.
believe you.
Keep sending them stuff. Keep sending them stuff. Sometimes they answer. Sometimes they don't answer. I keep sending them stuff because whenever we get there and they play me, I'm gonna say, hey, yeah, I know, but I remember when you didn't answer my text. Come on, pull it in, niggas. Anyway,
Wow.
but it's all good. It's all love. I just think that as human beings, it's something that happens when we reach a certain plateau and we feel that we're on a different level than the other person. And I think some of that is even encouraged by the prosperity thing that we have, in terms of we need to surround ourselves with people who are on the same level as us so that we can stay successful, or lest we be pulled down by someone else. That's a working mentality that a lot of people have. And there's a merit to that, but
I was going to say there is something to it.
Yeah, but you have to find balance. And for example, people who are really working hard, people who you can see there's some fruit in their game, then you have to know, because I do that all the time. I pull people up that are not on my level all the time.
Hey, you know, Issa Rae.
Yes.
Issa Rae, she says, you know, we all always want to reach up. She says sometimes we should reach to the side, you know.
Network across.
And I thought that reach across, is that how she phrased it?
She says network across.
Yeah, that makes so much sense to me, and it's a much more effective way, because you know a rising tide can lift all boats.
Yep.
So I believe that.
And there's also a service element to it, where you are serving someone else who, like, your effort to help someone else may be a nominal small thing, but may mean a lot to somebody else who needs it. And that's kind of a philosophy that I've always had, is that, I help people all the time who can't help me. And to the point that, to the degree that you feel that, you're going to be pulled down by somebody, I think that's true if they are a lazy bum who's kind of pulling from your energy and just are negative. But if there's somebody who's really working hard, who appreciates your value and needs help just by you giving them a word, or if you have resources, that's, to me, a different principle than what I think some of these people are really working on, is strictly a status model. And it's cool though, because you roll with people who are rolling with you, and that's the way you do. That's the way you go about it.
Yeah.
That's why you guys are here, and you guys are immensely talented. And the show we put together tonight, going back to that again, to me, and when I watch it, and I try not to be biased, I try not to, but I look at it, I said, this is a really good show. It's just well done in terms of the actors, and I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about all of y'all. Just great stuff. It's subtle. It's not over the top. It's just, what I want.
But it all begins with the script, Carl. And my boy sat down and wrote a script for the first time in his life. And it worked.
Yeah. That was your first time.
Well, actually, I think it was. It wasn't.
If you'd have told me that, I wouldn't have done this shit. No.
Last season was the first one, because I wrote pretty much all the episodes last season for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, but this season I wrote this one, and I wrote the one with Trisha and Tony by myself.
But I guess my overall point is that 2 Degrees brought out the writer in you.
Yes, it did.
And it was something that you had always kind of feared, if I'm using the right word, prior to that. And so, it helped you, grow as an artist.
It did.
It's also great intuition from Carl as well, because Carl didn't know if I could act or not, really, before giving me this role. We just met on set, and he goes off of feeling and just intuition. And I appreciate you for even doing that and feeling a great energy from me to bring me in this project. So I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, you're
but you were a dancer first, right?
No, I'm an actor first, but the film that I was working with Carl on, I was dancing in.
Right, and there's something about dance, and because dance is a form of self-expression, and it's a very close cousin to acting. So Carl saw something in you on that set that said, this girl, she can do what I need her to do. She has the look, And
right.
And when I saw her, I said she reminds me of my daughter. That's
that
straight
too,
up.
yeah.
Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
And Corinne was supposed to act in this episode for real.
Mm-hmm.
Corinne and Eric were supposed to do it, and because they were freaked out about COVID and me shooting during COVID, they didn't want to risk, getting the virus. And about 10 days out, I had to replace them. And I remembered Ajima, and then Tony helped me find Patrick. And you did so many nuances in your performance that I absolutely love. Just these moments, these little things you did.
Not to mention that she's stunning to look at. Let's not forget that part. Like, wow, it's strikingly beautiful. So that just absolutely. So I mean, I just love that. And even though I said I bullied my way into into working with you guys, I really was the thing that I was most impressed with was the fact that you took a chance on yourself finally. You took a chance on yourself, and you bet everything. You scooched all your chips in the middle of the table and said, I'm gonna bet on myself finally. Instead of waiting around, for the phone to ring, I'm going to be, the producer of my own life. And it didn't really matter, it didn't really matter about, yes, we all want to make money. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean that part, but it really didn't matter about what you were going to get. You knew what you were going to get. You knew what the rewards were going to be, because you knew what the product was, you knew what you were investing in. And I think that paid off too. And I think people showed up for you because we knew who you are as a man, as a friend, and as an artist, in that order. I think, when we talk about you, when people say, oh, I know Carl, we talk about the Carl, the man, before we even get into talking about the actor, and I think that has more longevity in that, I think you've been playing the long game for a long time.
A long time.
Yeah. And I think that finally investing in yourself has its rewards. You have something to promote, and you can, you're your own boss, and you can call your own shots, and and that was empowering for, I think, all of us, because I was like, oh, I want to write a script now. I want to do, and I have the least discipline for writing anything. I mean, writing jokes, I had to sit down, write the premise, and walk away, come back. I have a whole process of my joke writing process, so I respect the fact that y'all can sit down and write a whole damn script, a beginning, middle, and end. Because I got the ideas, but to finish it and flesh it out, that takes something else. Mm-hmm. So I'm a fan. That.
Yeah, I appreciate you, AJ. It's a tribe thing. I mean, Tony started me on even thinking about this when he pulled me into this madness back in the 90s with his stuff, and then I think the final straw, just to elaborate on the process a bit, was Down Full of Love and my wife right here, because I don't think that I would have even thought about doing this if Don had to drop a dime on me one day, just out the clear blue sky, and my wife heard him, and she would not let me off the hook. I'm, okay, I guess I should do something, because she's not gonna stop talking about this until I do something. And I tell you, the amazing part is, to your point, is like once we put it on paper and I start getting these impulses about who I wanted, because I'm kind of like not to bring up Woody Allen, because we know what Woody Allen is, but I'm not trying to audition a bunch of people. I just get a sense, like what Ajima says, I just have a sense about things. And like, even, Elliot playing this bad guy. It's not like Elliot is a bad guy, but he was perfect.
I had that gear.
I just knew he would be like who he is in this role, and
more like Larry David, more so than Woody Allen.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I don't want to audition people. I don't like, I know people ask about that. I get, because of the show, people have asked me, I want to do your next season. I have a lot of cool people who say they want to be on this show. And believe it or not, if they're people who I think could fit, I'm thinking, okay, how can I fit them in the show? That's what I'm doing. And there are a few actors like that who I already know I'm going to put them in the next season, So we're a tribe, and this is about spreading the love and building the tribe, making it bigger, so we all are helping and creating together, and that means a lot to me. And all of you guys have played an important part. Tony put me in movies way back when he was much younger.
Wow. Okay.
What is with this age thing?
I don't know.
He puts on it.
So anyway,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
No, that was a wonderful time, man. Just coming out of that place where we wanted to, kind of take control of our own destinies and tell our own stories, and we made a couple things happen, and that was a beautiful thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure did, man. Making classics. Indeed.
Have you guys seen Is That Black Enough for You?
Yes.
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 No.
No. What's that
on?
What's
it on?
It's a documentary on Netflix.
Oh, I'll check it out maybe tonight.
It's great.
Then.
It's really
Is
good.
that
It's
black
really
enough
good.
for you?
I didn't mean to steal your thunder, AJ.
Oh no, that's okay. No. Please. Yeah. I just that I don't know. It just gave me this whole love for us, just watching all the shoulders that we stand on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people I did not even know about. But I just felt like Harry Belafonte had the coldest line in the whole film. And I'm not going to spoil it because I want you to watch it, Elliot. But I will tell you, when you do hear it, because when he drop it, I want you to call me. Pause it and just hit me up.
I know the line. Got it. We'll do it.
I did not know that he was that much of a G. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had never met him, but I do know anyway. So it just gave me so much more love and respect for us in this game, because and just watching all of most of my favorite veteran actors and what they had to navigate through and still succeed. They did it with ease, what looks like ease and comfort and with a smile. And I know that there were some rough times. I'm clear about that. But it's just it let me know that, there's so much more to do and there's so much more to fight for.
Mm-hmm.
Even at this stage, and then I was just speaking from a female's perspective, the men, I just like, everybody was so dang fine in the 70s. And I was like, good Lord, I would have been a big hoe. I ain't gonna even lie. I just gotta keep it 100. I was like, damn, Jim Brown. I mean, really? So, wow. I was like, y'all better be glad I wasn't alive and I wouldn't have grown in the 70s, honey. Yes, ma'am. So
it would have been easy to become a hoe in the 70s. Trust me, I was there.
I was there too.
I was like, I would have never made it to the TV. Anyway, no, it was just beautiful to watch. And the women were beautiful, and the whole thing about it was just great. So I was happy to have gotten a chance to see it. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Melvin Van Peebles, he was definitely an inspiration for me. And Fred Williamson, all those guys that produced those blacks, what have become known as blaxploitation films of the 1970s. Right. When I was growing up, those were the movies that really inspired me and said, well, hell, black people are in movies all the time. I didn't realize that, there were decades and decades of us not being in them. I just thought this was the way it was. So it never occurred to me that, I couldn't become an actor and I couldn't become a filmmaker because, these guys had done it before me and had shown me it was possible.
You know who did it for me? Tamara Dobson and Cleopatra Jones. Baby.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw her, I was like, I didn't want to do that. The sexiness and the power and the badassery. Like, I know a lot of people love Pam Grier and she deserves that. But that beautiful Black woman with that baby, I was like, I am in. Where do I sign up?
And the
Yes,
Corvette
ma'am.
with the machine guns inside of the door and all.
Yes,
she was
all of that.
bad. Yeah.
All of that. Yes, ma'am. Oh my gosh, she was amazing. So I mentioned that because that reminds me of what you're doing. You know, like we have an opportunity to do something revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be a strike or anything as major as what's going on, but we can do it at any time.
Yeah, this is actually
And
good
I think
time to do something
that's how the blaxploitation movement came about, because wasn't there something going on in I forget what the storyline was, but it was about, hey, let's just let's do it ourselves type thing. So I just feel like if we do that more often.
That's how it begun, but of course it was co-opted, like most of our cultural movements become co-opted by the majority and taken over and then chewed up and spit out.
I just shot one of my podcasts with Jonelle Allen.
Oh,
she is. Wow. I mean, one thing on this podcast journey, I'm learning through many of the people I've talked to, but she is like, probably she and Bill Duke are like. I mean, we're talking veterans. We're talking people who were there. And Jonelle, first time I saw Jonelle, I was 10 or 11 years old when I saw her in Cotton Comes to Harlem. And I remember her. She only had a small part in Cotton Comes to Harlem. But I remember her from Cotton Comes to Harlem. And she was telling me the story about how that was her first film job. You know, Raymond St. Jack, Jock, Bridge, all these people. And she didn't know that this would be waiting time between takes. And she has this little part. And so she's out there screaming, I want to go home, because she'd done Broadway. She'd done Broadway before that. She says, I want to go home. I want to go home. Why are we taking so long? And she's talking to the freaking producer, Samuel Goldwyn. And she didn't even know. And she's just complaining to Samuel Goldwyn about how long it's taken to get through. And so he liked her. So he brought her back. So we did the Comeback Charleston Blue, which is a sequel to that film. She played the lead in Comeback.
Wow.
Because he liked her spunk, and she's a good actor. She already had, and she was a child actor. She danced with Sammy Davis Jr. All these people, and she was a dancer.
Yeah.
And
Jonelle is an OG.
She is, and she's so nice.
I'm really looking forward to that podcast.
Man.
I've been a fan for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know that when I first moved out here in the OC, she was the first person I met.
Oh, really?
Wow, really?
She lives out here. Well, yeah. I'll say that she was the first. She was one of the 5 Black people that live out here at the time that I had met, because I kept running into people who knew her down here, and they kept saying, "Do you know Jonelle?" I was like, "No," and I kept wondering, why is everybody asking me if I know Jonelle?
Right.
And who is this Jonelle? And because I knew her face, but I didn't know her name by heart at the time. And
okay. Yeah.
And so I was like, when I finally met her, I was like, the other Black woman who's an actress as well. And so that's how we became fast friends, because I was like, oh my God, you're the woman from Generations, and I remember you from What's Happening Now, and my mother loves you on Dr. Quinn, and I just started running her whole resume down, and you were the Black woman in All in the Family when Archie Bunker woke up next to you, and I was just so starstruck, and so then we became friends and everything. She just kept laughing at me, and she was like, oh yes, and she just she was funny, she still is funny, and we just had a good time, and she kind of sort of guided me and sort of showed me the ropes of living out here, Yeah, so she's a really good friend of mine.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Carl. I was at the rehearsal space for the Amundsen Theater, and I was looking at some of the pictures on the wall, and she was in the original company for Color Girls. Am I mistaken?
I don't remember her mentioning that.
Okay, but I saw her picture on the wall, and I could be mistaken. Maybe it was Alfred Woodard. I'm not sure. But it seems to me it was Jonelle Allen.
I don't think, though. I could be wrong. She's done so much stuff.
Yeah.
And she's
hair.
Hair. She did but she did hair before the nudity.
And Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I mean, her resume is
Oh wow.
Rich.
Yeah. Hey, well, guys, I'm gonna have to bow out. I am hungry and I want some food. And we can sit up here and continue talking all night. I have some pork chops in there that are just about done. I did the shake and bake deal.
Oh,
you
and
still do shake and bake? That's fly.
That's the only way I make. That's the only way I know how to make pork chops.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, go enjoy your pork chops.
All right. I love you guys all. Carl, thanks for making me a part of 2 Degrees.
Anytime.
Elliot, Ajima.
And by the way, Jonelle,
AJ, and Latanya, if you're still there.
She's still here.
I'm
here. By the way, Jonelle wants in the 2 Degrees, and I'm going to put her in if we do a season 3. She's definitely going to be in.
I want to be in that one.
I already know
not if when you do a season 3. Not if when you do season 3.
When I do season 3. Yes.
Good night, all.
Catch him.
Good night, Tony.
Catch him.
That's right, Adima. That's
it's
right.
The words. I've been very good on being that. Like,
are you checking the comments, Carl?
Yeah, I saw Jonelle on What's Happening. She was on there playing Rerun's love interest.
Rerun.
Yeah.
Well, she was the cult leader when he got into that cult. Remember?
I didn't see that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. There's no real questions. Let me see. I mentioned. Oh, but Tio was asking what I meant about Maya being an outsider. Well, it's not a negative pejorative term, outsider. It's just that, Fran Drescher is an insider. She's somebody who has support within the higher ranking or higher workings of SAG and all that. Mm-hmm. And Maya is like an at-large member who's seeking to gain a position that has a campaign to get favor of people to vote for her, which is a different kind of a thing. It's like, it's like me trying to run for president of the United States because I don't have I'm not in that machine. So right. I'm not placing a value on her being an outsider. I'm saying that she basically is, and she knows that. So, and if you look at her positions, they're definitely different. So you follow her on Facebook, she posts every single day about her positions on the strike, her positions on the State of the Union, her positions on what she would do. She's very clear. She's really smart. This girl, Maya, is a bad girl, period. I'll tell you right now. So.
I was about to post something real controversial today, and I paused.
About what? Well, you're not. You're like me. You're kind of controversial. Both of us are kind of, outsiders, so to speak.
Absolutely, and I absolutely like being in that position.
Me too.
But yeah, I still might post it. It was a video that I want, and I just wanted to vent for a little bit, I think, more than anything else. And then I had been thinking about this one issue, and then I saw 2 comedians, one podcaster and one comedian who said something yesterday, and I was like, oh, good. And it gave me a sigh of relief because I thought I'm not the only one who feels this way. So then I thought, you know what? I'm going to piggyback on that. And so then, because I really got a chance to, I really wanted a chance to just not necessarily not be alone in it, but now that I know that I'm not the only one that thinks this way. So it was just this whole, I don't know if I should bring it up.
Well, we're here now.
Or we'll wait till you post, whichever one.
Well, it's this. So what happened was with this comedian named Jess Hilarious, she got into sort of an online rift with a trans person.
I saw that.
And I support what Jess said. And so I wanted to just, so what I did was I made a video to elaborate more. And I took a different approach about it in terms of just, I didn't use any profanity. I didn't come at nobody personally. I didn't attack anyone. But, my position is just like, wait a minute, like where's this coming from? Like we've supported you and your efforts and your journey. And now you want to come at us and call us a different name? And now you want to come and reassign us? You want to readjust us and redefine us? You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that with that.
I didn't see this.
I have to go look that up. Why don't you say? Can you send it to me?
I'll probably send it to you. I'll send it to you through WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just paused because I just didn't want to come off angry, but I am angry about it because I'm like, just you do you. We'll support that. We can play well together. I respect your decision to call yourself whatever you want, whatever you wish. I will respectfully comply to that, but you can't disrespect me in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You can't do that. That's what you're not going to
do.
This movement has subjugated women more than anybody.
Yeah, and it's like, how are you? So you fought to not be marginalized, but you choose to marginalize somebody else and bully us in the process.
Yeah.
Where they do that at? Not here. And so I just felt like, women need to start standing up for themselves, for ourselves in that regard, because it's like, baby, we love you. We appreciate you and support you in whatever you're trying to do, but don't diss us in the process, though. Don't call me a cis woman. That doesn't. What does that mean?
Right.
Oh, I bet I didn't hear this, but I can imagine what you're talking about because I feel exactly the same way because you came out of a natural woman.
That's right. So now I don't get to call myself that because it makes you uncomfortable. I'm sorry, but that's not how that works.
Yeah, they can miss me with all of that, all of it.
Well,
that's exactly what I said. I was like, you can miss me with your labels. You can miss me. You don't get to redefine me. That's what you're not going to do. But, go enjoy your life because I know I'm definitely enjoying mine. Mm-hmm. I know who I am. I'm not going to apologize for, having a vagina. That's not what I'm going to do.
Please don't.
You should.
You see this thing? God gave me a cervix. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to help you with that.
Yeah.
You'll never.
Right?
So what they said was, cis women don't own periods.
We're not the gatekeepers of it.
We're not the gatekeepers of periods. And there are different variations of periods and womanhood. I was like, that is the most ridiculous thing to come out of anybody's mouth. Okay. Yeah. And I was like, sir, ma'am, look. So
I know you want to be like me so badly that you're trying to downplay
what I am. Yeah.
What I don't understand about it is pretty commonsensical. Is why if you want to, be called or be labeled something and you're on a journey in this way that you need to now make somebody else, as you're saying, something else other than who they are.
Right.
That's what I don't. That's when you have to stop and see this is something that's going on, even expanding beyond this subject, where people can't stand in. I hate to use it this way, but I'll have to for the sake of a discussion. Stand in their truth, and be respected for their belief. And this is across the board. We're canceling people because of what they believe now. And then you're putting a label on it, calling it, in this case, transphobic or dysphobic or racist or whatever you want to call it. When we live in a country, I'm sorry, where even if you have racist views, as long as you don't impose them on somebody and burn a cross on the lawn or come in and shoot my house up in the name of it, you even can be stupid and silly and be that in this country.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a right.
You have a right to say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Unless you want your right to be taken away, you need to stop.
Right.
That's how I see it. I'm not threatened by anybody on any level that even feels a certain way about me for whatever reason, because I know who I am.
Well, I think it varies. It's an individual by individual thing, but it's like the saying, money makes you more of what you already are.
Yes.
It's the same thing when you reach a certain status that doesn't involve money, but you get there and then all of a sudden you see who that person really is, even though you helped them get to that place.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. I love that. See, Elliot, that's what we're talking about.
Well,
me and my foolishness.
AJ.
What'd you say?
I'll be looking forward to your post.
I think
man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna post it because what you guys said, that was pretty much how I pretty much framed it because it just I don't know why when I watched the actual original video that sparked the whole thing, I was like, you know what? Because I've seen several. And I thought, you know what? Okay. I know I'm not the only one, so I'm gonna just go ahead and share my point of view about this.
There you go.
This has gotten ridiculous. I see the chat lashing out at anyone that didn't. That's true. That's true. And it's like, how are you gonna bully somebody when you was fighting you supposedly fighting for equality and and acceptance, but now you're gonna treat the people the same way that you were treated? That doesn't even make that's hustling backwards.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of crazy out there, AJ, and
you right.
That's how I put that. A lot of crazy out there. Well, we are almost at midnight, and my 65-year-old clock is ticking down.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, you better go see about the clock then, sir.
Man, I love you guys,
and 3 hours ahead of you
I
guys.
appreciate everything you guys
pushing through.
Yeah,
man, it's really great seeing everybody again. I mean, it's amazing. The three of us are up here, quote, together, but we live and going in different orbits and everything. It's just nice to lay eyes on everybody.
It sure is.
Good to see you. But and thanks again for the invitation, brother.
Oh man, anytime.
It's great to see you guys.
Thanks for being.
I miss y'all being in LA.
Good to see all of you.
All right, y'all.
Make it a
good night.
And look out. We look out for that, AJ. Send that to us, okay? On WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Thank you, T.O. Appreciate it. Keep watching, T.O. and keep sharing, T.O. Bye.